Hello and welcome, Ken and Danny here, and in this video I'm gonna share with you some more information about the Shimano 105 Groupset. This is the 5800 generation, so it's the 11-speed newest Groupsets of 105 from Shimano. Me and my Cannondale Cat 10, we've been able to check how it works in Iceland in different weather conditions, so I know how it performs in rain, in very windy also weather, and in the mountains. So what I've got from 105 in my Cannondale is the shifters, the brakes, both derailleurs, the chain and the cassette, because the chain set, as you can see, is what Cannondale uses, the FSA gossamer in this bike. Let me begin with all the things I like about these components. First of all is the shifters and the shaping of the shifters, and also the levers. It's just lovely, at least for my hands and my riding position and my riding style. It's just great. I never have any pain in my hands, and I really, when I'm on the hoods, I feel like I can just ride forever. So the feel of the levers is just great. The shifting, I mean the shaping of the levers when it comes to shifting is just fine, because when it comes to shifting, just wait for a minute. And then the brakes. The dual pivot Shimano 105 brakes are very good, are strong enough. They have a lot of power in my opinion, and I've been able to test those on pretty much steep descents in very windy conditions and when it was a lot of rain. So I was happy with those brakes. I would say these are very good, and the shape of the hoods and the levers are just great. Then maybe about the front derailleur. The shifting in the front is very crisp, is fine. As you can see, the front derailleur has a much longer arm than before, and it's very easy to change the gear. I just love how it works. Let me show you. So changing the gears in the front is very quick and very smooth. So I'm quite happy with that. It doesn't take a lot of power of our hands, of our fingers to make the shifting, but then the trimming can be quite tricky in this case, because when you try to just trim, not change the gear, but only trim, you have to slightly touch the lever. If you overdo it, you will change the gear. Another thing I would say, it's pretty bad in these levers. In both levers, it happens to me sometimes that I push the lever and it doesn't do anything. It's like just skips one gear. So for those 3 months I already used these levers, it happened maybe like 10 times for the left lever, and also maybe 10-15 times for the right one. Maybe not 15, but around 10, same like for the left one. So sometimes it just doesn't trim, doesn't change the gear, it just goes all the way through and doesn't do anything. So this must be some shifting failure in the shifters. But as for shifting in the front, the Shimano 105 front derailleur and the chain and FSA gossamer chain rings, they work together just fine. But then we have to talk about the rear derailleur. The rear derailleur has a stronger spring now. It looks just as it should be doing its job, but it just doesn't. I'm not pretty sure whether it's the chain or the cassette or the derailleur, or also the cable routing, the internal cable routing of the hoods, because shifting in the rear is just not good enough. the chain would sometimes shift just as it should, and sometimes would just slightly slide over the cogs. So let me just show you how it should be doing its job. Let's do the upshifting. Maybe here you will see it better. All right. So this is the upshifting process. As you can see, the derailleur already changed the position of the chain. So the half of the chain here is already on the larger gear, and half of it is still on the same one. And that means that I don't lose any power. I'm still pedaling, and the gearing is changing. So I'm adjusting the gearing to the circumstances. So this is how it should work. But sometimes it looks like the derailleur would have to think for a while, should I shift up or not, because it just takes more time for the chain to actually get to the next cog. And the same history is with the downshifting. Let me show you how the downshifting should work now. Let's say, all right, we're coming down from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th to the 7th gear. So when I'm pedaling, this is how it looks like. It's actually the same like in the upshifting. As you can see, a part of this chain, maybe 2 links, are still on the larger gear, and those 1, 2, 3 or 2.5 link is already on the next one. So again, I'm not losing like connection with the power transfer, but I'm shifting my gear. But sometimes it wouldn't go that way. It's actually quite often. This is how it looks like quite often. As you can see, none of the links is sitting on the cog actually. So this is the moment when we are losing the power transfer, and the chain would skip 1 or 2 teeth, and it looks like this. Yeah, while you're pedaling, you are losing your power, and it doesn't sound good, doesn't look good, and it's just not good enough. Actually, the last crisp shifting I had in Shimano components was in my Shimano Sora Tiagra drivetrain from CandleCat 8 2012. Then I tried some Campagnolo 10 speed, which was great, and then in Campagnolo 11 speed is fine, but is not as good. The shifting is not as good as the 10 speed, and here the Shimano 105 11 speed is just not good. We are talking about super clean wires, all the cables are very clean. The bike isn't being used outside now at all. I'm only training on my... Okay, this is what happens again, as you can see here. Let me show you. I wanted to downshift in the front, and you can see that derailleur does nothing at all. I have to do it again. Now it shifts down. So this is the Shimano 105. What's the reason of this shifting failure? Of course, skipping of the gears in shifters is just absolutely wrong. It shouldn't be like that, and it's the failure of the shifters. But the way the chain is dancing actually on our cassette, in this group set we've got also something smart like the directional chain. This is the HG X11 chain. Directional means that those links are different from the outside and inside, meaning that downshifting and upshifting will be even better. The funny thing is that actually when I bought the bike, the chain was being mounted the other way around, so I had to fix that. And I've noticed that after doing some maybe 100 kilometers on the bike, but I don't think that 100 kilometers would like damage the chain or the cogs. I don't think so. But it never worked fine. I was never quite happy with the way this would work. So we know having 11-speed drivetrain is more difficult for us to adjust, but this one is actually not possible to adjust completely. So having 11-speed, perhaps having this 11-speed directional chain isn't good. Maybe this is something that Shimano wanted to do maybe too quick. Maybe they have released this kind of chain too soon. Maybe it wasn't just ready to be used by us cyclists. And another thing is also the cables. These are some fancy coated cables, but this is, in my opinion, this is just a trash. Let me show you how much friction it has. Here is the coating of the very cheap, just the standard Shimano cables. And when I compare this one to the cables that I had in my SRAM Groupset, it's completely different topic. But let's take a closer look at the coating. It just comes off, and it comes off also in the wiring. I'm gonna show you that. Let me take the wire off and you will see what happens here. This is just a mess. This is the coating. I would rather like to have just a regular cable than this one, which makes so much friction. Of course, I have already done some hundreds of kilometers on this bike, but the shifting wasn't any better when it was new. So the coating was still there, and the shifting just wasn't good. So all in all, what I have to tell you, yeah, I'm happy with the brakes, I'm happy with the comfort on my hoods, and shifting in the front derailleur, but shifting on the cassette is just a nightmare. I would say it is a nightmare, and I don't recommend using these drivetrains. I don't know, maybe changing the chain into FSA, I'm gonna do it in the future, would make it better, but I'm just not happy with this 11-speed 105 drivetrain, especially in the rear. And of course, the failure of the shifters that sometimes skip the gear, it's something unforgettable in in any Groupset, of course. All right, I think that's all I wanted to tell you. Maybe you've got some ideas about what's the main reason for this shifting in the rear to be so lousy. Maybe that's the internal cable routing here. Maybe it's the directional chain. Maybe it's just all together. Yeah, this is not funny, but I'm really missing my Tiagra and Sora drivetrain from the previous Cannondale that I was training on. If you also own the 105 components, just let me know, what do you think about it? How is the shifting doing in your bike? Maybe you have different chain or different cassette. I would be glad to hear. Maybe I could change something in my components so that the shifting will be just safer and better for me. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you soon in another one. Bye.